The shit you would need for this video is boost gauge, vacuum line, different sets of pliers, T's, and
couplings,
and extra bigger vacuum line, and a turbocharged car. To get the boost gauge to work, you need a line coming from the turbo.
Which none of these work on the Cruise. This one runs off with the blow off, so you only know how much boost is running when your blow off goes off. And this one just doesn't give anything but a vacuum 0.
And we're gonna hook it up right there just to show you how it's done, even though that's the wrong tube. What you're gonna wanna do now is just cut the line in half, put the T in, and then this is gonna lead to the boost gauge. So it goes from the thick vacuum line to a smaller one that'll fit onto the boost gauge, held together by the coupling. Now for the line, you're going to want to find a grommet in your firewall to send it through to put it into the cabin of your car. And you may need more of these for extensions, depending on how long your car is. And to tighten these, you get 2 pliers. Hand tighten it first and then tighten the rest with the pliers.
What we didn't show you is you warm up the vacuum hose to fit this over, and when you get it there, you don't make it too far. And what it does is it couplings that right there and makes it so it's a sealed fit.
We're just going to test it out, but we already know it won't work because that's the wrong line, but you'll be able to see, you'll be able to know it doesn't work or not. As you can see, there's no vacuum, so it's obviously not working. And it just stayed still, so it didn't work. And if it doesn't show any of that, then either there's a kink in your line or you're using the wrong hose. Now we're trying the second hose that we already know won't work. See, the second line showed something different, but it still wasn't right. Now the third and final one, which is the one that actually works, is over by underneath the intake manifold and not by the turbo. But all cars are different.
So what I did, I slide it through right here because I've ran through a couple of the hoses already by having it rub on the belt, and it sucks because you're like, what the fuck happened to my boost? And this one's the most pain to do it.
But it's the only one that works.
You might not see boost at idle because mine doesn't kick in until about 3,000.
Now, when there's a vacuum, you know it's working. Some cars, the boost won't kick in until you're driving. So what we're going to do is put it on the windshield wipe and see if it'll work. Just make sure it's not raining and you don't use your wipers. On accident. Now that you know it works, take it back apart and send the vacuum line through the firewall, through a grommet with a hole in it, and make sure there's no kinks in the line. Now if your boost gauge has a light on the inside for wiring it to get power, you can send some speaker wire to the battery on the negative and positive, and then find a switch from the store and put it on the positive side. If you don't want to do it the switch way, you could get yourself one of these cigarette lighters with the positive and negative, and then take the wires that lead to the back of the boost gauge and plug it into positive and negative side, and then plug in your cigarette lighter and the light will come on. And the third way you could do it is wire into any one of your wires that only takes power during when the car is on. To do that, you just get a voltmeter and test all the things, all the wires, whatever is on when the car is on is what you use. So there's 3 ways you can get power to your boost gauge. And the power wire to the boost gauge you just send through with the vacuum line.
And then you're supposed to use a grommet, but my car has a grommet with it. So you poke through and pull it through, and once it's through, you can see how long it is. I'm going to run it underneath the pedals, through that, up to my little cubby, right in the middle, right in front of my shift knob, until I get a pillar gauge.
You also may need a Phillips screwdriver or a pry tool to take apart certain parts of your interior depending on where you want to put your boost gauge. If you don't want to do all that, you can just run it up and over and mount it up here. You could also use a wire protector loom. You also need zip ties to just keep this tucked up and away from everything so it doesn't get ruined from your engine. This is what the mounts look like. You can just screw them right into the top of your dash. Or you can get something like this. As you can see, it's all tucked under. And I just gotta put the trim back together. And it comes out right above the shifter. Now that everything's hooked up, you can go and show off your boost to everyone.